We all know the world can be an incredibly overwhelming place. The endless city grind, the exhaustion of hustle culture, and especially looking back, the heavy and terrifying headlines of 2015. The very real systemic fears that black Americans face every single day. Now imagine someone comes along promising you an escape from it all. A black utopia, a return to nature, free of racism, free of the corporate wheel, and built on pure community. Sounds like a dream, right? But as we all know on this show, when someone sells you a perfect dream, the nightmare is usually hiding right beneath the surface. So today, we're taking a deep dive into the deeply disturbing world of Carbon Nation and its self proclaimed master teacher turned deity, Elagio Bishop, known to the internet as Nature Boy. He ran a textbook playbook on control, stripping his followers of their real names, their finances, passports, and eventually their free will. From the remote jungles of Central America to a violent breaking point with immigration officers. We're breaking down how a former barber and stripper built a dangerous cult by preying on people who were just looking for a place to belong. So grab a drink, get comfortable, and let's get into it. This is another episode of True Crime and Other Shit. Hi, hello to everybody in the listening world. This is your girl Cass. This is your boy Eddie, and we are back with another episode of True Crime and Other Shit. So, first, let me just say that recording is going to be sporadic for a little while, okay? We have a lot going on right now, a hell of a lot, and we're trying to stay consistent, but we ain't making money off this show like that just yet. So we got other shit to do. But we're trying to always give y'all the best. And this week we're coming with you to a story with you with Nature Boy, Elagio Bishop. What you got to say about this, Eddie, since you watched the documentary?
There was a lot that went on from like beginning to end, and of course the allure of peace, calmness, community will always draw you in. But you gotta know, you got a person that stands that a person that doesn't stand for anything will fall for anything. I think what's the Malcolm X quote? I definitely misquoted that.
As
You know,
somebody who doesn't stand for something will fall for anything.
anything.
And I believe that 100%.
That's
If you
exactly
don't know
how.
what you stand for, you gonna fall for some bullshit. You heard? Anything else, Eddie, before we get started?
The biggest things, and they'll understand what I'm talking about the more and more we get into it.
Are you ready, Eddie?
Let's get it.
All right. So, Elagio Bishop, known as Nature Boy or Three God, sorry, it's hard for me to not laugh. Three God,
It's
you're
crazy.
doing a lot, sir. But I couldn't find a lot of information on like his backstory. But I know he was born in 1982 in Harlem, New York, and as around early 2024, he was reported being like 41 or 42 years old during his trial. So we
Yeah.
don't know his birthday or much about him, but I did know that he did serve in the military. I'm not sure if he was honorably or dishonorably discharged. And I also know that he used to be a stripper and a barber.
I know about the
So there's,
bar. Yeah, and it's Barbara in
yeah.
Atlanta too.
Yeah, so there you go. You can strip down your three god and you just have bare bones, people. He humble beginnings. I do know that he had an abusive childhood and he also went to prison at 16 years old. And currently, he is serving a life sentence without parole, and he's being convicted of rape, amongst other things. In late 2015, let's just bring it back. 2015, there was a lot going on in America at the time, right? Trump had just announced his candidacy, and he was going to be running for the 2016 election, which we all thought was a joke.
Yeah.
The joke has gone a little too far. It's gone a little too far. See, this is why y'all can't be laughing at everybody because not everything is funny.
I remember we joked about it too. That's the crazy part. Like everybody was like, "Oh, Donald Trump as president," and we laughed all through the 2015, 2016 election night was a very rough night.
It was very hard. I remember I was so anxious, and I remember I panicked myself to sleep. That is a rare thing, but I panicked myself to sleep. And I woke up in the middle of the night and I looked at my phone and I was like, this can't be fucking real. It was a mess. But in 2015, Elagio launched his YouTube channel, Nature Boy TV, and he began posting videos about the like racial injustice and environmental things. And he kept presenting himself as a spiritual leader, as Nature Boy. And he recruited young black creatives to join his Carbon Nation, which he marked as this black utopia, right? He was urging them to leave the states, and he's like, oh, put this racism and stuff behind you and let's return to nature. And of course that sounds amazing, like if you could just pack up all of your things and move to this place where nothing ever goes wrong, right?
Yeah, but see, when he first started, he didn't just. It wasn't just. It wasn't just like, oh, it's a racial thing. He didn't start racial. He didn't start racial. I'll give him that. I would say he preached the peace, just straight like,
Well,
oh,
yeah, the
okay.
peace, but I'm saying like he like also like attached to that fear.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
you know
like
what
the
I'm saying?
fear of
Like
what's going on in the
he didn't
society.
say like, oh, all these people are racist. He didn't even focus on racism. As we saw, like there were people that were not black in this cult. And I'm gonna
Yeah.
call it a cult because I'm gonna call a spade every time.
Yes.
But he never preached that. He was always just like, I know you're tired of this. I know you're seeing that. Like, do you see what they're doing? They're shooting black people in the street in cold blood, blah, 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 yada, yada. And he was just like, come on down to Costa Rica and live with black people in harmony.
And see, the thing was, I don't, cause like I when the after the first couple of videos and stuff like that, it didn't look like there was any women. So it looked like it's just him and his homeboys just chilling, like you know what I'm saying, in the desert location, in the jungle. Like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying. XRBZ, we just pretty much chilling in the huts. We don't got no worries. Hakuna Matata, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
What a
Like, that's
wonderful
what it was
thing.
giving.
That's pretty much what it was.
So, in July of 2016, he took a small group to Honduras. This was like the first of many trips that he took abroad, but he wanted to live off the land. So, from 2016 to 2020, no, 2022, Elagio moved Carbon Nation to various remote locations throughout to like Latin America and North America.
Yeah.
So during this time, he did encourage like his people to stay active on social media. They recorded music together. But his efforts to like control this, like to create this utopia, were like pretty much undermined by all of like the control and abuse that he ended up instilling in those people.
I'm saying like when the beginning started, and this is why I genuinely, I 100% believe did he have pure intentions when he started? I don't feel like he was coming in with the egotistical mindset of starting a cult when he started. To be
Agree with
real,
that. I think that like he probably like I love the saying the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Like I
that's a
100% believe
that's
that.
a great quote for this because that's
Yeah,
100%. Pride and
because he
ego will
really
take you
did
places,
seem
and that's
like he
exactly
was
what happened here.
Yeah, he seemed like he was like trying to promote this peace and, I want my people together and, love each other and yada, yada, yada. But I feel like as he got more control over them, he started demanding more out of them. And then
As
he
he was
realized that
able.
I have these people and especially if you've never been in control of no shit ever in your life, you're gonna power trip. Um like have you heard like it's like this joke is like nobody can stand a nigga with a clipboard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, like as
Yeah.
soon as somebody becomes a manager, bro, and they get that damn clipboard,
It's
it's
like
over.
it be the same coworker that was chill with you and breaking rules and everything else, blah blah
Right.
blah. Be the main one. Now he got a clipboard. Hey, hey, whoa,
Whoa, whoa, what is this?
what's this going on? Hey, I don't want to have to
Wrap it
report
up.
this, but
Yeah,
I will. And
yeah.
that's why I said like a lot of it was pure intentions. It was the purest of intentions. Like he recruited people from all over the world, and like it wasn't even just about like at first the recruitment. Like he wasn't trying to get like the whole world to join or get a whole bunch of people. It was just all right, cool. Like y'all see what I'm doing, da da da. Like you know what I'm saying. Y'all can have this too. Y'all can have this too, no matter where you at in the world. Y'all can have this too. And where it started to go left was pretty much when he's seen that he can influence people, when he's seen that like, oh, okay, you know what, I can talk to these people. He would have been a great salesman. He would have been a great
Right,
salesman.
right. That's where he probably should have been.
Yeah.
But he referred himself as a master teacher. So Bishop required his followers to follow a strict vegan diet and practice nudism. So that's also where that's like cult foundation 101. All right. It's like we're going to start controlling what you eat and what you wear. So those are the two baby steps. When people are like, "Oh, I just want you to eat healthier." You're like, "Oh, okay, like I totally get that. You want me to take care of myself. I understand that. I appreciate you looking out for me." And then it's like, oh, he's probably like preaching, oh, you shouldn't be ashamed of your body. Like this is natural, it's good. Like they told you to be ashamed of your body and you shouldn't be. And I'm all for body positivity, but I understand that people are more reserved and some people like to cover up. I'm one of those people. I don't like to like be exposed at all. Like
We
I
hit the
like to
high
be
tops.
covered.
When we talk about high top brothers, that was King Chief of high top. He was on some like in the time where they were in the jungle. Cuz was on some, oh yeah, like pre-colonialism. We should live pre-colonialism times. Like we should not be controlled by the government. The government should have no control, and we get no control of the government type deal. They should have no realms over us type deal. That's exactly what he was shooting for. Heck, this joint went left. I know exactly where the joint went left at, and where people really should have started leaving. But there's also a saying that I kind of like adopted after watching this mess, right? Because it's a very true thing. The three things that you're also always going to need if you're a person in power is going to be a woman on your right hand, your homeboy on your left hand, and the reason I say a woman on your right hand, you see a viewpoint that's outside of your own. Okay, so you know what I'm saying. She's gonna make you see. Okay, well, look, this is how other people are viewing it. You really think that that's the best way to go about? Boom. Then you're gonna have your homeboy who's gonna hold you down and make sure you don't get power hungry. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, okay, brother, you need somebody. You don't. Your whole fan base can't be yes man. You need somebody to tell you this shit's crazy.
That's
This shit
always
ain't got.
dangerous. Whenever you have like a whole bunch of yes men around you. I can't remember like who said this. I don't remember if it was like one of my professors in college or whatever, but they call it the Whitney Houston effect.
Mm.
She had so many yes men around her, letting her do whatever and getting her whatever she wanted. And then that's how she got addicted to drugs, and that's how everything kind of like got out of control. So yeah, that's how she got on that stuff.
One is you should always have a being or power over you to keep you, remind you that you, to humble you type deal. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
whether it is God, deity, whatever you feel, but you cannot be the deity because we're gonna see where that leads to. Whenever you go ahead and you think that you're above everything, yeah,
Right.
it doesn't come good and everything will come crashing down. But those are the three things. It's like a triangle of stability that you're gonna have to have.
Exactly. Another red flag in this whole cult situation is that he instructed them to cut off contact with their family and friends. That's that's like cult 101. Anytime somebody tries to separate you from the people who care about you, they're doing it so they can get control over you because he wants to be the only one in your ear. Because you know good and damn well, if you doing some wild shit, either your homeboy, your mama, your cousin them, your great uncle Pookie, he gonna be like, nah,
It sounds a little
nah,
crazy.
you know better, huh?
They gonna put to side. Hey, bro, it sounds a little
Yeah, they're
crazy.
gonna be quick to tell you, nah, you have no business doing no shit like this. And of course, as soon as he started doing this and separating them and telling them to cut off their family, he starts subjecting them to physical violence and sexual assault, which is the next step because I feel like a lot of these cults, a lot of them are based off of sex in some way, shape, or form. Like it's all for sex. And I'm like, what is this obsession?
Here's another thing
David
too. I
Koresh.
gotta.
David Koresh, the Branch Davidian, he started sleeping with everybody's wife because he said he was the chosen one and he needs to be the one to impregnate all the women so they can have the babies, right? Like
So
most of these
here's
cults are based on sex. The the FLDS church, not the Mormons, FLDS, the ones that where they wear the prairie dresses and stuff. Sex, cult.
yeah, controlled sex. Another thing is I hold it to the end. I hold it to the end because like
Okay.
everybody's gonna judge everybody's because me I ain't gonna lie I judge the victims. I did a lot of victim like shaming. Yes, yes, yes. I did.
I
I did. I
mean,
don't care.
you can. Okay, so they willingly went. He never put a gun to their head and said, "You have to come over here." So, in that regard, I understand, Eddie. I understand where you're coming from. However, I digress. But
We're gonna go
anyway,
through. We can go through everything
we're
and
gonna
then
break it
I'll
down.
tell you why I still feel like that. But go ahead.
But by the time that Bishop moved back to the Atlanta area, he had ended up proclaiming himself to be a god. So during 2015, like I said, like we saw so many scary things. We saw like the killing, police officers killing black people. We saw like the George Floyd stuff going on during that time. And then also like the Charleston massacre. Like that was the most terrifying shit I think that I've witnessed. You know, like somebody to come into a church where people are praying and then they killed 9 people.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane. So, of course, he's playing on this fear and he's growing his Instagram following and his YouTube following. So, on the documentary, there was one of his former followers there. Her name is Velvet, and she comes forward to speak out about how he would encourage people to get out in nature and see the world. And Velvet, she was from New Orleans and she was from one of the poorer wards, and she had never really left her ward, she said. She said she'd never been to like the rich side of New Orleans because like I think her parents didn't want her to feel like that she was lacking, but she ended up making it out and going to college. So you know, if you've always been in this small community and you go to college, things are kind of like, you know, there's
It's
so
just kind of
many
like
things, you know, that you can do. And of course, her being sheltered most of her life, she sees this dude on the internet and she's like, he got big shit popping, he got motion, I like this dude. And then she found one of the members. His name was Olmec, and he like started messaging her, and they started texting back and forth, and they started flirting and stuff. And she thought that she was in love with this man because Nature Boy was telling him to keep talking to her So he was using his members to recruit people. He would be on his videos, like you saw him. He's like, "Yeah, they need wives or whatever, and this girl needs a
It's a
husband." And
great dude over here. Like I ain't gonna lie to you,
yeah,
yeah. Like it's pretty much like you ever had like I know for sure like with us it's like you gotta you get on the phone with a girl and you telling her, oh yeah, pull up, bring your friends, and they like, who all over there? Hey, look, I got my homeboy over here.
look,
He,
this, this
look,
this
yeah,
dude mad handsome. You see this dude? This
I got
yeah.
this in my head. So it's like
And
it
the
was a
girls are like,
recruiting strategy. He ain't
okay,
had no
you
like you know
know.
what I'm saying. Like everybody was fit. Everybody was they on their shit. Like you know what I'm saying. So they eating fruit in the freaking in the jungle, not really worrying about shit. Yeah, they cooling. So
Right. So during that time, like Olmec is like telling her, you need to get your passport, you need to come out here, you need to come visit or whatever. So Velvet drops out of school and she goes and she's gonna go live with Olmec in the jungle in Costa Rica. It's wild when you say it out loud.
it don't sound that wild. Like I ain't gonna lie to you. Think about it. You struggling in school. They got all this bullshit going on. You telling me you can? Everybody talking about leaving and going to another country anyways. You just go ahead and get the jump on it. That's all she thought. She thought she was getting the jump on it. Like, oh, everybody gonna leave anyways. I'm just kind of being a
I
fucking
mean,
bitch.
fair, but also I'm different. I always tell people like never base anything based off me because I'm different. I'm just a very practical person. I do not really enjoy risk like that. Especially not like that. Cuz I already knew like my ticket to the lifestyle that I wanted or the lifestyle that I knew I would like want to be in close proximity to came with an education. So that was just something I was just like, I can't abandon it.
I'm not gonna lie. You seen Velvet. You know damn sure what she looked like. She was like one of them tree hugging shouties. Come on.
Anyway,
Okay, so like you gotta look at like what is the vision? Like how you just said, like oh, okay, you have a practical life, so you know what you want. What she wanted, she already knew. Like oh, okay, I know what I want, and it would have never like I don't. She don't
it would have
give me
never
like oh
been
yeah, I'm looking
that.
for the Von Clear,
Yeah.
like oh da da da. She doesn't give me that. She give me the vibe of I really would like to actually live on like a
Off the
small house,
grid.
big yard,
Yeah.
bunch of trees everywhere. I go and work on my farm. That's what she gives, and I just got plants all over my room. That's what she gives. So you telling me she had
You're
to live in the
right.
jungle?
You're right.
She
I think
ran
that
out.
like she she either wanted that or she was in college to get her MRS.
Thank you, MRS.
That's
Oh,
what
okay.
the old ladies used to say. She's like, "Oh, you don't go to college to finish. You go to college to get your MRS to get to become a wife. That's it.
I
To
mean,
find a husband."
also, especially if like if she in college, they're the niggas there ain't. I mean, the men there. I don't want to say nigga. I'm trying to get out of that emotion, but the men there are kind of just like they ain't worth a damn. Like let's be real. Like if men there ain't worth a damn, and then all of a sudden you got this dude over here living the life that you want to live, and kind of
Of
like oh
course you
yeah,
don't
he
go.
chill. Pat
Of course
that
you
ass.
don't go. Right.
Whew.
So she had never left the US before, but she ended up getting her passport. She ended up figuring out and she flew to Costa Rica. And of course she did this with her money from her refund check. I miss refund checks. I want refund checks in real life. Like
When my refunds check, when my paycheck started looking like my refund checks, I was fine. I was good. Hey, listen, I was hey,
period.
go ahead.
But she flew to Costa Rica and she said she was immediately captivated by the scenery. Have you ever been to Costa Rica? Like, I have never been, but I've been to like similar places, Like like if you go to like Colombia, you can see like the jungle and like the sprawl, like the mountains and just everything, or like the Virgin Islands, you see all those big mountains and the trees and the fruits just growing. It's something like you've never seen before and it's beautiful, and I understand why everybody wants to go run away and live in the jungle in Costa Rica. I'm not saying that they wrong for that. I get it. I just ain't gonna do it with old boy. Yeah, like Jamaica is beautiful.
So I'm like,
I
I'm
already
not
said I'm not
mad.
retiring in this country.
Like
I'm
that's what I
grown.
said. So she just kind of got the jump on it. She just got the jump on it. Why would I even live here? Let me just go ahead and retire.
Right.
Let me retire over there. It had now. Here's where they had me trippy at because I'm not doing this. I'm not giving you my bank card as soon as I get there.
Right. Right. It's like, let me get
That's
your bank
where you
card.
lost me.
What's
You
that
lost
meme?
me,
It's
brother.
like, is that Dave Chappelle on that? Is not on that meme or GIF or whatever
SNL.
it is.
Yeah,
And he got the crown on his head and he's holding his money like this.
yeah, yeah,
That's me. Like, my
yeah.
money? No, I worked hard for this. This is my money's.
But
No.
he put it in their mind so well. He said, "You gotta think if we're gonna be a community, then we all have to just put it all our stuff in a pot, and we will equally just work it out
No.
just to survive." That's how he gave it to them. Remind you, they're not materialistic people. They're not people who are looking at the bank account. They're like, shoot, we living off the land anyway. And shoot, if you want to go ahead and be the secretary of the money to make sure that we do live how we need to, go ahead. That's how like he came off at first. He didn't come off as some
Right.
egotistical crazy dude until he's seen what's her name, Velvet.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I really feel like that's when the shift
He
came.
was
Like,
like locked in on her early.
yeah,
So Velvet said that she was like, this is gonna be so cool, you know what I'm saying? She said she was like feeling old Mick. They were cuddling in the car and playing kissy face and stuff. And she said that when she got to the compound and Nature Boy spoke to her, she said she just felt everything get very dark. And she said, she was like, I like Nature Boy. He seemed cool. And she said he seemed like a fatherly figure, but she was like, like I have the same respect for him as I would for God. And I'm like,
why do you have that much respect for anybody like
I don't
that?
got that much respect for anyone.
Not God.
My heavenly father? No.
Oh.
You can't compete where you can't compare, baby. Couldn't do it.
But I ain't gonna lie though, like her saying like a father figure, yeah,
I can
yeah, I
see
can see
that.
it. I can see it because
He
like
made sure everybody was
you know,
taken
you making
care
sure
of.
everybody. He said, "I'm making sure everybody eat. I'm making sure everybody good." Like you know what I'm saying. And I'm creating this utopia for you. So I see where the whole fatherly figure came from. He making sure he coming up with rules. It's not OD rules. It's nothing crazy yet. He's gaining
Yeah.
everybody trust. I don't blame him. But I think it was like that like the everybody telling him, "Oh yeah, we look at you like a father." Nobody really being able to step to him. That's where the
Right.
shit. I feel like everybody gotta get their ass whooped at least once. And the fact that
At least
nobody
one.
tried to jump this man,
It's
that's
crazy to
what.
me. Cause what you mean? Cause he would have been jumped. Like what? But let's get into like another one of his former followers. This is Aaron. So Aaron said that he was like just really sick of grind culture. He wanted to get out of the hustle and bustle of the city, stuff like that, which I totally understand. Also, another thing I noticed about Aaron is he's from Butler, Georgia. I don't know if you know anything. I think he had a tiny fro. He had like a little webby fro. Or like a close cut. I
Oh,
can't
like he
remember.
was a little bit. He was like almost your complexion, a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know you talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So he's from Butler, Georgia. Butler is still very racist. I think that not too long ago they actually had their very first like integrated prom in the like last 10 years or so. And I know this sounds wild, but there's like a lot of places in Georgia and Alabama. Like one of my friends, she went to a high school and she was like, we've always had segregated proms. Like that's just how it was. It's like it wasn't saying like, no, you can't go to this prom
It's just more
because
inclusivity.
it's like, but we're playing this music over here, and we playing this music over here. Where you going? You know what I'm saying? So it was just kind of like that.
Shoot,
And
South
Aaron
Carolina
was,
open with it.
huh?
South
Yeah,
Carolina open
they're
with it.
open with it in South
They
Carolina. They be like,
look.
we're racist.
Hey,
We
look.
don't
I
like
didn't
it.
realize it until somebody point. I always say this. I never realized it until somebody pointed me out
Charleston,
how wild it is to say I got a black
Charleston.
bike week and a white bike week.
There's a black bike week and a white bike week, and in Charleston, across the tracks, this is where all of the white people live, and hang out and party, and this is where all of the black people live.
And
Like
if you
it's
go to
very
South,
bifurcated.
so is and if you go to North Myrtle Beach, that is very much you'll see Confederate flags. You'll see everything flying from high
Exactly.
daisy coots. But if you go to
Hmm.
South Myrtle Beach, you see nothing but niggas. Just niggas.
Facts. Hold on one second. Let's don't.
Oh shit.
Okay. I don't care about your attitude. Um, and then also Aaron, he was a army vet, and he went to the military as soon as he was 18. Which there's nothing wrong with that. I want to preface that before I say what I'm going to say, because people like to think that when I say this, that I mean that you shouldn't go to the military when you're 18. No, if that's what you want to do, if you feel like this is the path for you, go to the military at 18. All I'm saying is that when you go to the military at 18, when you get out, there is like this gap that you missed of actual life. You know what I'm saying? Like you didn't get some life skills of living like real life in the real world. You know what I'm saying? Because like you're kind of in a structured environment, especially if you're living in the barracks, stuff like that. It's very structured. And when you get out, you have all of this free will, and some people just are like overwhelmed by it, or you know what I'm saying? So they start
Oh,
looking.
honestly, that makes so much more sense because I was trying to figure out like why Buddy didn't just stand up a couple times, but like now that I know that he's in the army, it's kind of like he was looking for the next command. If that makes sense. Like when you're so used, yeah, like how you pretty much saying like when you're so used to like just taking command, and
Hmm.
then all of a sudden they release you out to the world, you kind of be like,
um Getting out of the military, things like that. So of course, I think he was just overwhelmed by life, and he was like, I don't even want to think about this shit no more. I
yeah,
just want to go. I don't blame him. Like if somebody said that they would take all my stress off of my back and I could just chill,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But
why not?
but
But that ain't happen
another, huh?
later. That ain't happen. He ain't pop up till a little bit later.
Who?
Afro, Aaron.
He was right. He was like, I think he was a little bit later. I just try to get all of the
Like information, yeah, and just kind of
like the
sort
people
through.
together.
Mm-hmm.
Like Alex was another follower of Nature
White
Boy,
boy,
and
right?
he, huh?
White boy, right?
He was Portuguese. He was from Portugal.
Gotcha.
He was a bodybuilder, and he said that like what attracted him is like the diet that they were on, and he was like, I really liked it. You know, he's like he watched that documentary that they put out around that time about 2015 about the meat supply in America and how it was harmful and stuff like that. So he wanted a cleaner diet, and he's like, Nature Boy is teaching us how to eat cleaner. I don't really got shit going on right now, so he's just like, whatever, let's go ahead and do it. And he thought that the space was only for black people. And then he saw Kayla join, which was the young white lady from Canada.
Canada.
And exactly. And then that's when he decided to reach out to Nature Boy and told him that he wanted to join as well because he realized the space was open to all.
Yeah.
So to get into
You
it,
know
Kayla
what?
is,
I gotta give him some respect. I get Alex some respect because you know what he said beforehand. He was like, I feel like this is a black only section, and I'll
yep,
give you your piece and your space, but I like what you're doing.
yeah.
Me personally,
He didn't try and
sometimes
bombard his way in there.
you
He
know
was
what I'm
like, is this
saying.
cool?
I like people that understand. That's like, hey,
That
look,
some
this,
spaces are just
you
not for
know,
you.
some spaces are not for you.
I
Now
don't
I
go
can
to spaces
understand
where I'm
when
not
some spaces
wanted.
you're not gonna see me trying to invite myself to a Galentine's. You feel me? Like, this ain't my
Exactly. Like if
area.
it's a
Like
girls only event, we do not want the boys there. Like it's fine, okay? Because there's certain things that we can talk about as women that maybe if you're there, you're gonna be like, I don't even know what the hell y'all talking about. Y'all talking about balayages and hair color and oiloplex, and I don't know any of these words, right?
I'm gonna sit there. I mean, I'll be listening, but I mean, I'll input when the conversation got some input for me to give. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Right.
not somebody who just want to talk just to hear himself
Because
talk.
if you sit there and we talk about all of this and all of a sudden you're like, sports, we're going to be like, no, get out. Like, what? No. We're not even talking about sports right now.
Yeah,
So, and then there was Kayla. She was the young white lady that we mentioned earlier from Canada. She was originally reported missing, and then she turned up in the background of a video in Costa Rica. So Kaylin's family was extremely worried because they said that she was going to a church meeting and then she just never came back. And then she popped up in the background of Nature Boy's video and they were very worried. And this should have been their first clue that they should just give it up because her parents decided to get the consulate involved and the government and everybody to try and get her out of that situation because they knew that he was dangerous, but Kayla was still very much unaware. And then Kayla is the one who really kind of like popped the top on everything, and all eyes began to turn to Nature Boy, and
that
everybody
also,
started becoming more observant.
and that right there, I feel like as crazy as it sounds, I feel like that's where his heart went left. Like as much as it's like, oh yeah,
He
like
thought that all
it
the
could have been
attention was good.
his intentions were good
No,
until
the attention that he was receiving. He was like, "Oh, cool! Now everybody knows that this is real and this is cool."
and like, oh, okay, bet, like you know what I'm saying. And then I feel like in his mind, he's like a little part of him, it kind of started a fire with like, oh yeah, y'all want to make me a villain? Well, I'm gonna show y'all I'm a villain then. Like, let's go ahead and get this joint started. Like, because what happened next? Like, that's pretty much until then they were not bothered by the police deportation people, none of that junk. You know what I'm saying? And as
Right.
soon as Kayla started popping up and they started looking for her, boom. Now we got deportation people coming. Now we got all these problems. X, Y, Z. Go ahead.
So, um, cult leaders they like to prey on like appeal to people who are also transitioning in life. And I think that Kayla and Alex were kind of in that bubble. They both were kind of transitioning into different areas of their life and they wanted to try something new or different than what they were used to. And I think that's kind of what like drew them in. So there is this internet detective online, and most of y'all probably even follow her. Her work is amazing, but it's Chantel, and her YouTube channel is The T. So she found melanation online, and she said that she saw right through him as soon as she saw him. She's like, as soon as I turn this shit, I'm like, how do I turn this shit off? She's like, he's selling a dream. He's appealing to people who might be hurt, broken in a transitional period, or just, not really feeling like themselves or their situation. And one thing that he did immediately, I think we spoke about this, is Nature Boy would immediately rename his followers as he came to the cult. He said that, your name doesn't hold any weight or any dominion. You should be able to choose what you want to be called, which they did not choose what they wanted to be called. He chose what he wanted to call them. So he renamed Velvet EJ, and he told her that if he named you, then he has power over you. Another red flag, people. Go ahead. Add them up. Okay. He said that I have power over you if I name you. And he renamed each and every single one of his cult members. So, Nature Boy, he controlled what they ate. He put them on a strict diet. And with this strict diet, he was limiting food. That was red flag number 2. Number 3, he separated people from their family, and he basically made this like perfect little cult storm. Like, if there was a book on how to start a cult, he had it.
Yeah.
He figured it right the hell out.
I bet you there's a book that he read that when I say it, you're gonna be like 48 Laws of Power.
3 Laws of Power. I fucking hate that book.
No, I
Hate it.
love that book. I love that book.
No,
I love
I
it.
hate it for reasons like this. Is because that information in the wrong hands.
That's the thing. That's the crazy part about it. That's the crazy part about it. That when I get to talking to people and like we really get to discussing about the book and everything, and this is where I just kind of shut up and I let them talk because I need to understand what type of person they are.
Where did
Because
you? Yeah, what side do you lay on?
yeah, like, cause there's two. There's first of all, the author wrote the book, and he literally goes, "I wrote this book so that way people can detect whenever people are trying to manipulate them. So when people are talking to me about the book, and they start talking about like, oh my god, I love that book. I be using the techniques all the time. This, that, and third, or like, da da da. I know,
Right.
yeah, like." All that book is like you said. It's like I'm gonna give you the power. You decide whether you
How
want
you
to do
gonna
good
use
with
it?
it or how you want to use it. Because like you're
Hmm.
really just supposed to use it as a defense mechanism. If you're using it to attack people, you the villain that the book is about. To be honest,
Literally.
yeah.
And also, something else that really deeply concerned me is that he was using human feces as a fertilizer for the crops that he was growing. So he told them that the government is stealing human waste and they're using it for their own purposes. Now, I love a good conspiracy theory. I will put on a tinfoil hat in a minute and be like, tell me what you're thinking. But this ain't it, Chief. This is not it. Like, they were also not allowed to sleep in the house and they could not use the bathroom in the
Funny.
house.
I was like, what the fuck? We got a house for if I can't sleep in the motherfucker? What the hell's the point?
And he said, like, the bathroom couldn't be used because he's trying to conserve, you know, the water and, like, the usage. Leave Cash alone. Don't look at him. But he was like trying to like use conserve like water usage and stuff too. And I'm like, okay, like still like nobody can use the bathroom at all. Like that's wild. There was a story like that Velvet told where she woke up in the middle of the night and she snuck into the house to use the bathroom. And he was asking everybody like who used the bathroom last night and he was like she was like I didn't admit to it. But then she had to go and keep going outside and she actually used a her feces to grow a tomato plant and they ate it. Yeah. Yeah.
I let
So
people do what they want to. Free reign. Everybody got free reign to do whatever they want to. And just let me know if that is some feces tomatoes before you feed it to me. That's all I ask.
that's all. And you're probably asking, how did he get new recruits after seeing this? Well, he would use his current recruits to get new recruits. He would have men reach out to the women and vice versa to attract new members. And he started engaging with his regulars on that live, so he started building like a sense of community. You know,
That's
he's
I was
like,
about to say. He used the sales tactic with that. That's all he did.
mm-hmm.
He said, "If I see you on here, I think it's like he sees them on there 5 times. Then he starts to
Then he
interact with
starts,
them.
yeah, he's like,
He'll
okay, so
call
you
them out
fucking
like,
with
"Oh
me.
my goodness, bro, how you doing today? This, that, and the third. And especially during the time where people were not
They were
talking
feeling
to people
disconnected,
or yeah,
anyways.
feeling disconnected. You know what? This dude
He
who got
cool.
1,000 people watching him right now, he calls me out. Like it made
Me,
them feel special.
me,
Yeah,
right,
I can see how that godly tier of believement can happen. But it's like, bro, y'all gotta.
right. So, day one upon arrival, Nature Boy went through all of their belongings and he had them turn over their personal documentation, their debit cards, any finances that they may have. And this was concerning to a lot of people because like you're turning over your life to someone you barely know. But Nature Boy did this whole thing and he was like, oh, like everybody has to put in, da 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 da. So Nature started funding his cult with the money that he got from selling his barbershop, and he was also getting donations online from people. He's even gotten up to $300,000 in donations, and this is because of fucking rappers and people like that. It's like, no, no, no. You over here donating and you're funding it, go out there. Go out there. Oh, you don't want to live out there. Oh, you don't want to live outside the tent. You like living in your $1 million mansion. Got it. And Alex, he actually was concerned because he said one day they were at the mall and they were wandering around and he decided to buy an $800 ping pong table with Alex's credit card. And Alex was confused because he's like, I thought that we were turning over finances to get things that like we
Need.
need. How does this make the group better? You know what I'm saying? And he's like, and also, how are we going to pay this back? And he was like, don't worry about it. Don't worry. You don't need that. Like, this doesn't hold anything over you. Like, they're not going to take, it's fine. It's fine. Which I think anybody, would be like, this is not fine, but whatever. And you're probably asking, like, why nobody ever decided to, like, speak up. And it's because Elagio would humiliate them and they were seen as less than in the group and they lost social status. And in a situation like that, like social status is everything. And then also like
But
I
you
can
came out
see
there for a community, and then all of a sudden everybody there just kind of like, what's it called? When they disassociate from you, that can very be like harmful effect
that's
to you
that's
mentally.
scary.
Yeah.
And then also humiliation in front of everybody, like who wants to face that? Like if I trip a little bit in public, I'm literally like thinking about it in the car for the next 45 minutes, like
The only people that you're interacting with. This isn't like a oh
yeah, it's like, yeah, I'm never gonna see them again. And these are people I would never see again. Me like doing a little trip in public, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna see these people again. But in my mind, it's a big deal, and I'm about to crash out in my car because of it. So I can't imagine being with the only like few people that you ever see.
hmm
But whatever. So an interesting part of the documentary that got to me is when they got stopped by the police, and none of them had their passports stamped, and they had been there over 6 months. So of course, like La Policia is about to get involved, and when they were stopped by the police. They're like, "What are your names?" And then I hear like Elagio being like, I don't have my God, my name is Nature Boy, da, 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 and doing all this. They don't give a fuck about that. They don't give a damn. They're like,
They,
why isn't your shit stamped? That's what they
so,
give a damn about.
and that's where he was eating on. Because first of all, you got all the racial tension with the police going on back in America. So like and he live streamed every single encounter with the police, and that way it's
Hmm.
kind of like it shows like, oh, okay, like y'all see what we dealing with. We're dealing with it all throughout the world. Da, 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 da. Like it's. But we have to stick together. We have to stick together. We have to be empowered and know or have confidence in who we are. X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. Which is like, brother, you are creating most of the problems that you are dealing with. You are creating those problems.
And I think he thought like live streaming it was going to be like revolutionary in a way or something, but it kind of just made him, to me, when I saw the video, it just seemed very unhinged, for him to do something like that. It just felt like very like scary, like, oh shit, like what do you like, he has no way to address this. And immigration is bigger than this cult, obviously.
So I mean that's the whole point to like show that it was a pretty much like create the oh yeah we are revolutionary. Whenever you're trying to do something good, you're gonna have enemies, and it's always usually what the government. That's how we look. That's how we're taught. So that's why he live streamed it. So he used what we already be dealing with like oh okay police brutality like da da da, and he just kind of mirrored it. Like he tried to
Right.
mirror the Black Panthers. He tried to mirror it on that type of the what to say the revolution will not be televised. That's what he
Yeah.
was trying to shoot for.
Right.
And yeah, and that's why like the more scarier it is, the more attention it gets, the more money he's going to get. So he tried to make it worse and worse, more problematic each time, each encounter.
Exactly. And Nature Boy was actively telling his followers that night that they had to be prepared to die for the truth. And he told them not to get out of the van and they need to stand up for themselves. And this is where they need to make that stand right now. And that probably shook up his foundation because they didn't want violence. They came here for peace. And now you're saying that we have to get violent?
We
Right.
came to not
I
be
didn't sign
revolutionists.
up to be a revolutionary. I said I just wanted to stop doing this bullshit. Like, I ain't want to do all this other stuff now. Y'all wilding. Like he
So, and that's where I feel like that's where like he was like, oh, once he seen the weakness in them, that's what I truly feel like that's where it's like, oh, okay, like I see I'm the only one that's gonna stand up. That means that if I stand up, nobody else is gonna stand up against me. Y'all are not gonna stand up against me. That's
Right.
what he saw that night. And that's where it's like, oh yeah, his power hungriness came back in.
I definitely like see where that came from. But I think that so Alex's family, he said that's when they began to worry about his safety and they began reaching out to him and trying to get him to come home because they saw the video and they were scared and they realized that he was not safe. And Alex reflects on that video now and he was just like, every time I watch this video, my heart just starts pumping because that is so fucking scary. Like I was like in that shit and I didn't even, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm brainwashed. I'm not even like paying attention to how fucked up this situation really is. So, and I'm sorry I keep messing with my hair, y'all. It's raining and like I had the door open and now my hair is starting to frizz, but whatever. We almost done. But then one of the immigration officers spoke on this situation. His name was Mina Arbarca. Arbarca? Yeah. And he says that Nature Boy severely complicated the situation further than what it needed to be. And they said that Nature Boy proclaimed that the situation did not have to happen. And he could see that he was instructing his followers to become violent. And that's when they got beat the fuck up. But he was like, he heard him inciting violence into his people. And so
Yeah.
then they started saying, okay, we need to be prepared to defend ourselves and de escalate this situation. So they all got jumped. But shortly after that situation, Alex, his family was like, you need to get the fuck out of here. So he takes his leave and he goes home and he denounces everything that Nature Boy and that cult
Now
was.
let's also talk to a point because this is a very big point on it too. That like I feel like that's where everybody and the whole racial thing probably pops up. So it's the factor of they all got bunched up. Alice is in there too. Alice is I say white passing in my book. Yeah, you kind of like white passing.
Yeah, I
They
mean, he
very
does not look
quickly,
like Latino at all.
and this is where like in the minds of the people that were already there, they kind of like said, "Oh, I see. We really do have to band together because." They grabbed Alex and said, "All right, buddy, it's separate from them over there. You can go home. You go grab your things and you go home. But all y'all, the rest of y'all stay right here." When I feel like when that was created, that's when like, oh yeah, like we can't go home. We have to be
Right.
in it. Yeah, like that. That's where like in their mind click like, oh yeah, there is no going home for us. Like we have to stay here now.
And then this is like the last thing I'm going to say, and then we're going to do part two next week. And then we'll pick up on Tamala Horsford after that. We just had to, people kept asking me about this. And so I was like, Eddie, we have to. Like, the people are in need. But keep in mind that he enticed more people to join. And this is that situation with the police. Some people were like, hell yeah, like I want to be about that, blah, blah, blah. So then Sheba was joined she joined into the cult and she saw the video. She immediately blocked all her family and decided to book a ticket to Costa Rica, and
She was
that's where
wild. I don't care. I listened to her side of the story. She was wild. I'm gonna be so
she's
for
still
real.
wild.
Everything she said was it was out of pocket.
Crazy
It was
work.
every single freaking thing she said. I
Crazy
said
work.
none of this makes sense.
At
None of
all.
this.
At
Don't
all.
you ever block anybody again in your life because you need common sense people in your life.
You need people around you because you wildin', sis, you wildin'.
Take them to.
Okay, but let's wrap up. All right, so that's all we've got for this week, y'all. Next week, we are going to do part 2 of this. And then, like I said, we're going to jump back into Tamala Horsford. I know we're jumping around, but like I said, we had to get this out. Thank y'all for listening to us this week. Like I said, please be patient with us right now. We got a lot going on. However, we will check in with you. Let us know if you want to hear any other cases. Thank you, and good night.